Okay, you guys, I'm back. So now I'm on part 4, I believe. So I blocked this in. This is my background. You can see I blocked this color in. I mixed a solid color, and you can still see a little bit of the background in, and that's okay. I'm gonna go in and start mixing this middle value too. So I've got to find somewhere that's going to be closest to what I'm looking for. So I think it's going to be like right in here because it's kind of a bluish purple. So that's what I'm going to be going for. The other thing that I want to point out is down here, I saved a little bit of my paint from in these little containers from Smart & Final. This is the extra that I mixed. This is good to have. Even if it dries, you'll be able to have it as a reference so that you can mix it again, you know how you did it, and that will make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to start mixing this, again, I'm going to be mixing that, so this structure. So I'm looking for like a bluish purple that's going to be somewhere around in here. Okay, so to do that, last time I started with the reddish, I was mixing a reddish purple. This time I'm mixing a very bluish purple. So I'm going to start off with the bluish base this time. So got to try to imagine how much paint I'm going to need for that to cover that. So I'm going to, and for these local colors that we are mixing, I'm going to go with a little bit, starting off with the blue, and I'm going to mix a little bit more. This way I can save it if I need to. So I'm mixing the magenta into that and trying to get these colors so that they look pretty accurate for you guys to see. And like I said, it's a very bluish purple that I'm looking for. So I'm mixing again just like little bits of magenta into this, just little tiny bits in there, and I'm adding some water to this. I'm just putting a little bit of water on there, and you can see you want it to move. The paint should be moving around, and I still think that this needs to go a little. Again, I'm adding like little bits of red. I need just like little bits at a time to get to that point where I want to be with it. So this is looking pretty good. You can see it's a bluish purple. I'm going to add a little bit of a little more water because I want this to move well. And I'm also going to add, at this point, just a touch of yellow to that, and that's just going to dull it down a little bit. We want a little bit duller than what we have. A little bit duller, like that. And I'm also gonna, so by adding that yellow to it, the opposite, I'm adding I'm changing the intensity of it. So and now what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of white to this to change the value of it, to bring it down just a little bit. I don't want it to be quite as dark as what I've got. And this is looking pretty good. And then what I'm going to do is then I'm going to block it in on my canvas board once I get to that point. So, and I think now is a good time to do that. So I'm going to take a break and get back to you after I get done with this. So that's the end of part 4.